Saturday, September 3rd, 1994, 11:09 a.m. Lake Pickett, Florida. Hey, listeners. I'm not sure why I say that. These are just journals for me. But maybe someday I'll have a biographer or something, and they'll need to listen to these. Maybe it'll all get made into a movie. I suppose my chances of that are higher now than they were 3 weeks ago, anyway. I'm sorry if I sound kind of weird. I've been having the worst allergy attack all day. How I can be allergic to a place that's not far from where I live, I may never know, but I'm hoping it'll eventually clear up. I'm not going to let it stop me anyway. The fact the bottle of pills says 24-hour is just a suggestion, right? Like a use-by date? Anyway, so I'm here in my room at Econ State. Jennifer, my roommate, was here and already unpacked and ready when I got here at 9 this morning. She's a bit of a go-getter, I guess. She seems nice enough, and she had gotten my letter, but hadn't replied. I guess she lives out in the sticks in New Jersey, and mail service isn't that fast there, so she didn't have any confidence a letter would get back to me in time. That was smart. I didn't even know there were sticks in New Jersey, in the sense of living out in them, I mean. I guess I just always had the impression that all of New Jersey was kind of a half-urban, almost New York City. So, Jennifer had actually applied here herself. She says her dad went here. I hadn't looked up the history of the college yet. Most secondary education places in the area were founded in the 1960s or thereabouts. But Econ State? Its crest says it was founded in 1666. Obviously, there were a lot of people in Florida at that time, but not a lot of Europeans, so I had no idea the place almost predates Harvard. That's a lot to take in. Well, we've all been assigned to tour groups this afternoon, so I'm sure I'll find out more about things then. This morning was rough. I had all my stuff in my car ready to go, but it was really hard to leave. I know I'm not far from home, and I'm lucky that I can make it back whenever I can afford the gas money, but I'm still really going to miss my mom. And Pele. Weirdly, even though we're only like half an hour from my house, it's a long-distance phone call from here. Not like one you need an area code for, but you do have to dial 1, and it costs an arm and a leg. I'll have to keep my chats with Mom short and to the point. And on evenings and weekends only. I don't want to know what the phone bill will be if Jennifer calls home a lot. But the roommate advice notice we got did say we're supposed to go through the bill line by line and figure out whose calls were whose and split the bill accordingly. It just sounds like too much trouble. You'd think they could set up the PBX in some way so that she and I would each have a code to put in and then we could get separate bills. But I guess the wiring and setup here are pretty old. Oh, one new thing they are setting up, though, is there's a different jack next to the phone jack. They said this is their first year the campus has had them. It looks just like the phone jack, but bigger. Ethernet, they called it. And if you have a computer, you can use it to connect to other computers, or to the library, or get electronic messages. Obviously, I don't have a computer. Jennifer does, though. She said we could work out a schedule, which is nice of her. There's a computer lab on the dorm floor, too, so I can use those if I need to write a paper. It would be a lot more convenient than writing it out longhand. I'm not going to miss that aspect of high school, for sure. So, I ended up being assigned to a dorm called Hyperion Hall. It's apparently named after one of the founders of the university, which is kind of neat because that's a pretty kick-ass name. I wonder how he came by it. But all those people in the 17th century had really interesting names, didn't they? Some Puritan traditions or something. Hyperion is a pretty small dorm, mostly freshmen. The top 3 floors are co-ed. Jennifer and I are on the first floor, which is sort of co-ed, but since most of the first floor is the common room and laundry room and things like that, there are just 4 rooms on each side of the common room. So one side of the common room is all boys, and one side is all girls. Jennifer and I briefly said hi to the rest of the girls on our side, but so far everyone's been pretty busy moving in, so I haven't even gotten everyone's name yet, let alone their story. The room's bigger than my room back home, but we're sharing, so it feels weird. Mom always respected my privacy, so I never had to be concerned that at any moment someone else would come bursting in the door. Not that that's happened yet, but it does worry me. Not because I would be doing anything suspicious, but for some reason the idea of it just really sets me on edge. Maybe it'll be okay. I have no reason to think that it won't. So, after I got here, Jennifer showed me she had already picked the right side of the room and had put away all her stuff. We each have a tiny closet, a dresser, a desk, and a bed. We pretty quickly decided we'd rather have extra floor space and stacked the beds to make bunks. They're right next to the window, and I have the top one, which I like. I noticed when I was up there that someone, maybe last year's students or maybe earlier, had left a ton of plastic glow-in-the-dark stars all over the ceiling. So I think that'll be nice and cozy once the lights are out. There's a lot to get done until then, though. Jennifer left not too long after we were introduced. I guess her boyfriend is a student here already, a sophomore. I can't imagine having a long-distance relationship for that long, but I guess they made it work. I'm sure I'll meet him eventually, but maybe they'll spend more time at his place. I have no idea. I wish I'd brought more Kleenex. Saturday, September 3rd, 1994, 3:52 p.m. Lake Pickett, Florida. I wish I knew what I was getting into. Jennifer is still out with her boyfriend, Jason. I did get to meet him, briefly, right before we had our campus tour. Jennifer seemed to go through the tour like it was a matter of course. I haven't even had the chance to ask her if she visited Jason here before. Maybe that's why she applied here specifically? I'm so confused. Right, back to the important stuff. The campus is really beautiful. We have a lake, well, most of it anyway, and the buildings are just gorgeous. I have to wonder where all the money comes from. This place must have an endowment that makes the Ivies weep. How else could they build a campus like this, plus offer so many people a free ride here? So many of the other students I met were also on a free ride here. It seems like a very odd group of students. I mean to say that I was kind of an odd one out at my high school, but I don't stick out at all here. It seemed like every extreme of the human body was out there on the campus tour today. Short and tall and all sorts of skin and eye colors. Incredible. It feels weirder that I'm less weird now than I was in high school. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure it does. But everyone was very nice. We saw the Performing Arts Center, and the Student Union, and the library, and the computer labs. I'm used to going to the high school library to do research and write papers, but it seems like maybe now the thing to do is just to go to the computer lab and use things called, I wish I were kidding, Veronica and Archie to look up sources. They're these computer things called search engines. Someone had a fun day naming those. Tonight there will be fireworks, and students will set floating lanterns off at the lake to mark the start of another academic year. I'll see Jennifer there, and I guess Jason too. On the tour, I asked about majors and courses of study, and the tour guide said something I thought was kind of strange. He said, "Most of you already know why you're here." And at this, most of the students chuckled. That was confusing enough. I mean, aren't we all here to learn? But he went on, "And those of you who are focused more generally will learn soon what your path will be. However, everyone starts off as an undeclared major to make sure we're all on the same footing. So don't let not knowing who you are hold you back." I don't know. It seemed to hold more meaning for some of the other students, like Jennifer, than it did for me. Well, it was hotter than the devil's balls out there, so I'm going to go wash my face and get ready for the fireworks this evening. And I guess I'll have to take another allergy pill. I'll be in touch, listeners. Wish me luck.